Hi, my beautiful Pisces. Welcome to your reading for June 2023. I'm a little late. I know that. I did a personal reading special, which I am going to offer you for one day after I upload this video, because in a way it's not fair that those readings that I've already done knew that I did a special. So I will extend it for one day for you guys also once I upload this. And it's $44 off a personal reading. All the information's below. So, yeah, it just seems fair. But it is keeping me busy, I have to say. So, have patience if you decide to go forward. All right, Pisces. This is for Pisces Sun, Moon, or Rising. Or you may have a combination of those. You may have planets in the sign of Pisces. You may be in love with the Pisces. How could you not be? You know, Pisces is my opposite sign. I'm a Virgo. And, you know, often feel our opposite sign is really the elements that we could work on. So I always look to Pisces. Always. So anyways, welcome guys. Let's go ahead and get into your reading. This is for June. I think I said that, but time is fluid. So we're going to use Mother Mary for our words of wisdom. We're going to use the Gilded Tarot to go deeper. And I decided to use the Psychic Tarot for your main spread. I really like the Psychic Tarot for you. I like the Psychic Tarot, period. But I really like it for you. So let's go ahead and begin. Let's give Mother Mary a couple shuffles. And everything's pre-shuffled. I want to give a shout out to a few of my members who are Pisces. I never know whether to say the names or not, but I'll ask. Alright, let's begin. Pisces. Alright, you got 3, it looks like. And, you know, I never refuse them. So, let's look. We have blessings. We'll take them. We'll take them. Today, I count my blessings small and large, and I notice the new gifts that come to me from God. Blessings. Enthusiasm. That's good. Whatever I am most passionate about is the direction I flow. Some of you come here just looking for verification on the path that you're on. So this can help answer that. Whatever you're most passionate about is the direction you should flow. Enthusiasm. I expect good things to happen, and they do. Last but not least, truth. I am lovingly honest with myself and others. No blindfolds, right? Face the facts, face what's in front of us. Speak the truth. You know what I mean? I feel like if we speak the truth, how can we go wrong? Okay, so blessings, enthusiasm, and truth. We'll read them from the book at the end of the reading. We may not read all 3. We'll see how the reading goes. It'll let us know. I mean, all of them are going to play in your reading, no doubt. But, yeah, we'll see at the end. So let's go ahead and bring in the Psychic Tarot. Give it a few shuffles. Again, pre-shuffled, but 8 of Cups just flipped over. It's the emotional house. Emotional withdrawal. Alright, and we're going to shuffle for your cards. So let's go ahead and begin. Well, hello. Prosperity begins. I feel like this is a blessing, especially as your first card, the Ace of Pentacles. I love the Ace of Pentacles because it talks about something that's coming into your physical world. This is something that's tangible. You can taste it. You can touch it. It's meant to enhance your life, not deplete it. It definitely feels like blessings, right? Right off the bat. So, I kind of love that. Let's keep going. We have sacrifice. We have the Seven of Swords, interesting. And then we have the Sun, called light in this deck. First of all, interesting, because we have the Sun that's mirroring the Ace of Pentacles. That's great news. That lets you know that anything is coming your way. You should be able to tell pretty quickly if it's something's going to enhance your life or not. I'm saying that because in between these two beautiful cards, we have the energy of sacrifice and then deception and envy. So this can talk about someone, whether it's someone I work with or just someone that I know, someone that I love, may have not been upright, right? May not speak the truth. But with the Sun right next to it, I feel like it's definitely saying, like, if there's anyone who's, like, working against you, it's going to be illuminated to you. Not only illuminated, but then I feel like it gives you a way to move away from that energy. This could talk about some type of sacrifice you have to make with someone. Can also speak about a job, but it definitely feels... not that change is ever easy, but when I look at this, I think to myself, why wouldn't I want to move away from this type of energy, especially with the Sun illuminating something new, something that can truly take root. When you think of the Ace of Pentacles, those seeds need nurtured, right? They need your tender loving care. They need watered. Think of it like your garden. If you want your garden to be plentiful, then you have to tend to your garden. I feel like that's what the Ace of Pentacles also means. And then the Sun, listen, complete illumination. To me, the Sun means it's an opportunity to feel like a kid again, to live like unencumbered. All right, let's keep going. Let's see why the Seven of Swords is here and who it is. We have the Empress. Beautiful. I always love seeing the Empress in a reading because the Empress is, the Empress will take that Ace of Pentacles and she will grow it into 10 Pentacles. She's someone who receives epiphanies and then gives birth to these epiphanies. She doesn't like hang on to them. Doesn't mean like I can't. Maybe I receive so many epiphanies that, it would help me to like put them on paper and decide which ones I should move forward with and which ones maybe I want to hold back on right now. No one's going to take care of that ace better than the Empress. So I feel like what it's saying is you yourself have evolved into the Empress's energy. And because of that, it's like now you're ready to take this ace and allow it to be all that it wants to be. We have 2 Leo cards. It's funny, we're getting a lot of Leo this month. But we do have 2 Leo cards. Look at this, the Emperor and the Empress side by side. Well, if you follow me at all, I call them my power couple, especially when they come out side by side. Then we have temptation coming under that Seven of Swords. That's the devil. It's a card of Capricorn. I know, there's a lot of Capricorns like, man, why do I have to be called the devil? Well, you know, I'm making my own cards. It's a long process, but I am doing it, and I'm not going to call Capricorn the devil. I'm going to give you a different title. But I like this because this speaks about temptations that can really pull you into a lower vibration, especially coming under deception and envy. I feel like there's definitely someone that you're attached to that, listen, I feel like what's ever done in the dark will come to the light. And then, well, hello, moon. Interesting, we have the moon under the sun. The moon. Card of Pisces. You know, what do I love about this? First of all, it's your card. And the light is right beside it, or right above it. So this light, this illumination, you know it's meant for you. Now, it's also next to temptation. So, you know, it may also ask you to just look at yourself. Is there anything any type of lower energy that seems to tempt you to it? If so, I've got to realize that. Maybe break that. I'm going to call it a curse, but, you know, not really a curse. Let's keep going. I want to look under the Empress and the Emperor. Dang. Okay. We're going to pick up this big pile. So that's too many, but we are going to take positive movement forward. You know, whoever's the Empress, which I feel is a majority of you, I feel like this is this is going to be a good time in your life. I feel like, you know, money is changing. I feel like your life is changing for the better. And I also feel like, you know, anything that's working against you is going to be completely illuminated to you this month, and probably moving forward. I feel like once we reach the Empress's energy, you know, we don't have to build walls or wear blindfolds, because we trust our energy as the measure is something good or bad. Is something going to expand my life or deplete my life? In this energy, we're able to trust it. Why? Because we've been there. We've walked that road before. So I feel like the Empress is being paid handsomely. You know, don't forget, we have blessings, right? Enthusiasm, which this line is just giving me, like, I feel full of enthusiasm for you. And then truth. Someone's not telling the truth here. But I feel like whoever that is, they can't hide it. It's coming to the light. And then positive movement forward, at least for the Empress. You know, this is also the energy of what I think about, I bring about. So think about that. Movement, choices, and decisions. Oh, excuse me, 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I had a little knock at the door. Where were we? Okay. Movement, choices, decisions. Coming under the Emperor. It's almost like this Emperor has to make a decision. You know, I feel like this Empress is on the move. And I feel like if this Emperor wants to, like, be part of this, you know, it's interesting too, because I feel like it's the Emperor who's got to sacrifice something. And, you know, normally the Emperor is someone we can look up to. You know, he's coming in the upright. But that doesn't mean that, you know, they're not human. Because I feel like there's something within the Emperor's energy. It's almost like if I'm the Empress, I'm saying to the Emperor, if you want to follow me, you know, if you want to be part of this Ace of Pentacles and what I'm going to create with it, then it has to come, you must come from truth. You must come from honesty. Let's see what comes underneath that. Look at that. The Four of Cups. Discontentment. Boredom. This is about using your spiritual discernment as it relates to making a decision. And that's exactly what the Emperor is doing. In the Two of Wands, like, or the Two of Pentacles, I'm sorry. Making a decision. Four of Cups. It's interesting because this is the energy of using one's spiritual discernment, yet the energy that's coming under, which feels more like a, what's the word I want to use, like illusionary type energy. You know, it's like the Empress is saying to the Emperor, you have to make this sacrifice, because whatever this sacrifice I feel like is, again, it's coming from the energy of temptation. So it's something that's pulling me to it, but it has deception and envy above it. So I don't really feel good about that. And then the Four of Cups below it can be the energy of inactivity. You know, I have to make a decision, but do they? You know, and I feel like if I know this Emperor, I'm saying, like, you know, if you can't be honest and truthful with me, then there's no room for you moving forward. Interesting. Let's get our last card here. Or whatever wants to come out. Patience and planning. Patience and planning. Well, that's what the Emperor does. The Emperor does put a plan in place. That's really his thing. Like, you know, I make a plan and then I move forward. Where the Empress more goes by the seat of her pants, right? I go by what is calling to me, you know. You know, she's very open to divine intervention and divine messages. And then very quickly, I feel like, you know, this ace comes in for the Empress, and then boom, there's a change. So she's definitely accepting this ace. This is the Seven of Pentacles. So it tells me a couple different things. First of all, we're in a universal year 7, so I definitely feel like some, you know, major changes happening. 7 is also a very spiritual number. It's about spiritual completeness. Maybe someone, maybe this Emperor needs to, like, you know, raise his vibration. But I also feel this is your soul seed of intention, both the hard things in life and also the beautiful things in life, right? Because we learn from both. So the Seven of Pentacles, mirroring positive movement forward. And let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Okay. Nine of Swords. I don't love that. I'm going to bring this down. But I feel like this is what's changing. This is what this ace is going to help to change. You know, first of all, the Nine of Swords can be, can go to like extreme worry about something. So much so that it can cause sleepless nights. It can cause high blood pressure, depression. You know, it's something that needs to be dealt with. This is also about unnecessary worry, though. That's really its main message. Like, you know, maybe I'm trying to control something that I just can't control. If I'm trying to control someone else's free will, it's not going to happen, right? I mean, that's a gift. Like, we each have our own free will. Though I do feel like this Empress is making a very strong statement to the Emperor. Like, the Ace of Pentacles feels like it's coming in for her. And her is you. I mean, your card is right here, right? Shadow, that is the moon. Card of Pisces is also the ruler of Cancer. But it is showing me that you are the Empress. We have the Ace of Wands under that. Interesting. Passion ignited. It's making me think of a Spice Girl song. If you want to be my baby. Dun 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 dun. Alright, let's bring in the Gilded Tarot and get right into it. Let's see what's going on with this Emperor. I feel like the Empress is good. I feel like listen, I don't feel like she's been good, but I feel like now, you know, that Ace of Pentacles, especially with blessings, and then fast movement, right? So whatever epiphanies or whatever this Ace is going to be for me, very quickly it starts to move, and then I feel like multiply for some reason. Alright, let's start at the beginning, but we're going to read it as a whole. By the way, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major arcanas. So that could certainly speak about a lot of change in your life. Now, if you're the Empress, I feel like there's nothing to worry about here. It all feels good. It's all coming from the light. If you're the Emperor, I feel like, you know, if there's anything you're holding back or you're holding on to that is not serving you, or if this is a couple not serving the relationship, then it's got to go, right? Again, if I want to be with the Empress, I've got to come in the truth. All right. Well, that didn't take long. We have the Knight of Swords. It almost feels like you hear about this pentacle before the pentacle arrives. We have the Four of Pentacles coming over sacrifice. And then look at this. We have 7 swords over the 7 of Swords. Interesting. You know, it's interesting because I'm just feeling this energy of like, you know, like I may have been someone who, you know, I fibbed all my life. I got to the top by fibbing. And I'm saying fibbing because, you know, I could say lying. But I feel like this person, whoever is in this energy, you know, I feel like they don't feel like, you know, their fibbing or lies are that big of a deal. And I'm saying that because I feel like it's just what I know. It's who I've been. It's who I've been around. It's probably how I grew up. Doesn't justify it. Right? Because at the same breath, I feel like they know it. Like they know when they don't speak the truth. We have the 7 of Wands. Interesting, 2 7s back to back. This one came in a reverse though. You know, 7 of Wands is about standing your ground. And I definitely feel like that's what you should do. You know, because there does seem to be deception and envy around you. However, you know, it can't be hidden. It can't be hidden. The light is right there. But coming in reverse, I feel like, you know, I feel like I don't want to have to, how do I say this? You know, I get this energy of like someone else's untrustworthiness was then put upon me. You know what I mean? Like I ended up having to defend myself because even though I shouldn't have had to, but it was because of someone else's, just their way of living, right? Their way of thinking. Again, not always coming with the truth. And that type of energy, I feel like people like that try to put it on someone else. So I feel like, for a while it may have worked, but I feel like now the Empress is like, no, it's not worth the fight. It's not worth the fight. And I feel like, if anybody's coming to you with untruths, I don't feel like you're getting caught in it. You know what I mean? Like if it's drama, I don't feel like you're getting caught in the drama. If it's like untruths, I think you're going to know it right away, and you're just going to be like, no, it's not going to happen. All right, let's go right down and look at the Emperor and the Empress. We have the Fool coming over the Empress. We have the Ace of Swords coming over the Emperor. Interesting. We have the Three of Pentacles coming over Temptation. And look at this. We have the Ten of Cups coming over the Moon. Coming over your card. The House of Harmony. Interesting that the Empress has the Fool attached to her, because I do feel like the Empress is giving herself a new opportunity. Like she's taking this ace and she's running with it. And then the Emperor next to that. Now, this could certainly talk about business, right? People I work with could talk about my boss, but yet I do feel like I also feel love. So this Emperor may be someone that you used to know that did live in untrustworthy energy, just spoke untruths. But the Three of Pentacles coming right next to that Ace of Swords. Three of Pentacles is, it's about being the missing piece of the puzzle. It's about being your unique self and being appreciated for it. It's recognition for you. And the Ace of Swords right before that. Interesting, because, perhaps this Emperor is coming in. And perhaps this Emperor is coming in truth. The Ace of Swords to me represents truth. Beautiful energy of collaboration. I definitely feel like this Empress is, this Ace of Pentacles for her is very freeing, because it allows her to enter into the Fool's energy, which means the past is the past. I'm taking a chance. I'm taking a leap of faith. And I feel like, where does she ultimately have the opportunity of landing? Well, the Ten of Cups. The House of Harmony. With the Sun right there, it's going to be with the right person. And what I love about the Seven of Wands being in reverse over the Sun and with the Ten of Cups below it is, I feel like this would talk about a relationship where there isn't drama. There isn't fighting. There isn't attacks. It's almost like, I was once with a narcissist who just couldn't tell the truth. And enough was enough, right? Enough was enough of that. So the Empress wants better, expects better. I mean, if she herself has done the work to bring her vibration to where it is, well, then so can her counterpartner. So this Emperor is confusing me a little bit because I see him in two different lights. We have the Empress again, coming over, positive movement forward, and then look at this, we have the Wheel. Destiny. I feel like once this Empress says yes to this Ace of Pentacles, and again, it doesn't even have to be a person, it can be some type of opportunity. It's something, again, that's coming into your world to really enhance it, and it's something that can truly take root. And I feel like what it's saying is this isn't just about one ace. This is ace after ace after ace after ace. If I flow with it, if I trust these epiphanies, these ideas, and I'm willing to give birth to them, which the Empress is. The Empress definitely willing to take a chance here with the Fool's energy. This is part of your destiny, no doubt. Now, the Emperor is also on this wheel. And again, I'm feeling him in two ways. So, just because someone has been difficult doesn't mean they're not still on my wheel. Soulmates teach each other in all different ways. Let's keep going. Whoa. Judgment. Call to the present moment. I feel like this is speaking to the Emperor, because I feel like the Empress is already there. This talks about signs that are coming. And these signs are, again, in the current moment. They're not in the past. They're not in the future. They're here to help guide you now. I feel like this Emperor is being made to see his ways. Always. The good parts, the bad parts. But definitely, if this is speaking of a relationship, again, whether it be a work relationship or a love relationship or both, he's forced to see it. Now, he still has free will. How interesting, 3 major arcanas. So this is a spiritual team, but I feel like it's the Emperors. It's almost like the spiritual team is saying to the Emperor, if you think you're going to find better than the Empress, you won't. If you keep questioning, what's right and what's wrong, you already know. If you don't see your ways, or at least how you've been, then we'll never be able to clear this up. Right? It's like spiritual team is saying you can't be with the Emperor, unless you yourself raise your vibration. The Emperor is ultimately the leader of the people. But it takes time to reach that. Look at that with the Devil again. Double Capricorn. We have double Leo and double Capricorn on the board. 4 major arcanas. I feel like I'm going to go back and look at this Emperor a little closer, or the Emperor and the Empress. I may even pull them out of the spread and do them separately. But I do feel like, the Emperor and the Empress don't come together like this very often. And when they do, I don't want to just dismiss it, right? Because I feel like, first of all, the Ace of Swords coming over the Emperor, maybe this emperor has like realized his or her ways. And I feel like it definitely came with a little spiritual nudge, like their spiritual team nudged them to see that. I feel like ultimately they're, it's like, I feel like the emperor, when he thinks about the empress, already feels that, there's something unique about her compared to anybody else that was or would be, and it's like, if I'm looking for something better, well, it's not out there. Now, it doesn't mean this emperor can't, like, let's say the emperor and the empress don't get together. Doesn't mean that they both won't have great people to love in their future. But there's something here that feels kind of meant to be. But yet, in the same breath, I do feel like this empress is standing her ground as it relates to anyone who wants to be with me, whether that be in a work relationship or in love. Man, I got to be able to trust you. I got to know that your word is truth. Because otherwise, I can't live in that energy. Sometimes I feel like, I get that energy of sometimes we think the grass is greener on the other side, when in fact, the majority of the time, it is not. Okay. I think what I want to do, because I really want clarity on why the Empress and the Emperor came out together. First of all, I know the potential of the Ten of Cups is here, and it's starting at the Fool's energy. So let's say this is an old relationship, and let's say there has been some untrustworthy energy, and they are showing again, and you do want to give them a listen. I feel like very quickly your energy will let you know, again, if it's light or dark, if it's truth or lie. Very quickly, I feel like you'll recognize that. But for some reason, I get the feeling that this Emperor has changed, and I hope I'm reading it right. I think before we pull, well, look at that. Before we pull them out, let's look at these two Seven of Swords. Let's get a little bit more understanding about that. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Doesn't have to be, because remember that can also be your opposite. Though we do have a lot of Capricorn on the board. We have the Eight of Wands. Interesting, but then we have the Hangman. It's like go, stop. Go, stop. The Hangman is seeking wisdom on his or her next steps. It is a pause in the action. Interesting that the Eight of Wands comes before that. I almost feel like this may be someone who is like, yes, let's move ahead, and then no, let's not, and then yes. I feel that confusion. And maybe you felt that confusion, because I do feel that. It's like, go, stop. Go, stop. Tell me a little more about that. A little more about that. Strength card. All right. So this is talking about someone's, we'll just say inner demon. We do have the devil here twice. This talks about someone who needs to find that balance within themselves. A lot of times in the strength card, I feel like there's something I'm overcoming. And it truly is battling the beast within us. But with reason. The strength card allows you, when you find that balance, it allows you to see like how strong you truly are. But I do feel like it's speaking about this Emperor and this Emperor needing to overcome something. Does he? Will he? You know, and I just want to add in there also, I feel like for someone, or maybe a few, I feel like there's something that, if this is an old relationship, I feel like there may be something that back in the day that tempted both of you, you know, may have tempted both of you to live in a little bit of a lower vibration. And I feel like, you know, you had that realization that I can't keep living this way. It's not going to produce the type of life I want to produce. So maybe you end up finding that balance or having that realization, but maybe the Emperor not quite there yet or wasn't quite there yet. Spiritual team is definitely trying to get the Emperor's attention, right? Definitely wants to get the Emperor's attention. And because of that, it makes me feel like that I can't write this Emperor off, because I don't feel like your spiritual team has written him off, or her. You know, when you look at the Empress, that's the feminine side of us. The Emperor is the masculine side of us. And that's why I do feel like these two people can really complete each other. Excuse me, with the Five of Pentacles. I almost feel like this person had to like drop to their knees to understand their ways. I do feel that. I feel like they had to drop to their knees. Like they had to understand all that they potentially lost or could lose. I feel like the Five of Pentacles is speaking about the Empress potentially giving the Emperor a tower. Right? The Ace of Pentacles is coming in for me, the Empress. You know, and it's giving me an opportunity to enhance my life. So again, I feel like, you know, if this Emperor is not willing or able, for whatever reason, to make whatever changes he needs to make, because ultimately this Empress is ending up in this Ten of Cups. So someone's got to find that harmony. Is it going to be the Emperor? I don't know. I think now is a good time to pull these up. Now you guys know why my readings are so long. But it's very interesting. Pull them all up. And, excuse me, 3, 4, 7, Universal Year 7. Let's use the crystal vision. Tell me more, tell me more. I'm getting this energy of like this Emperor could be stubborn, where the Empress is more of a flowing type energy. But again, they can certainly learn from each other. Alright, so we're just kind of surrounding them. Interesting. We have the Chariot coming next to the Empress. We have the Hangman. Interesting, because now I feel like it's the Empress who put through the Hangman. And the Empress again. Let's bring these down a little bit. We have the Page of Pentacles. That's really a path of knowledge where I'm learning, you know, on the physical plane, but also spiritually. We have the Page of Cups. I'm taking it first because it came face up. We have the Nine of Cups. Interesting. And then look at this. We have the Four of Wands. All right. You know, what may be one of these things that this Emperor has to look at? Maybe it's his drinking. And maybe when he drinks, he gets out of control. And maybe he just had to learn that. You know, the Emperor and the Empress could have both, like, you know, in our younger years, we both drank a lot. I'm saying drinking, but, you know, it can be anything like that. Because I feel like there's definitely an evolution here. I feel like, you know, it almost feels like a twin flame reading. Because I feel like the mask or the feminine is reaching the vibration that needs to be reached for, you know, the counterpart to be part of it. I feel like this Empress, you know, it's interesting because I don't feel like this Empress is someone who's saying, I need 10 of Cups. I need to be married, that type of thing. Now, it may be part of her dreams, you know what I mean? But it's not just with anybody. I feel like this Emperor may have also had to free himself, maybe from another relationship. And if that's the case, I feel like he does. It's almost like the Empress is saying, and until that happens, until this Emperor frees himself from whatever that is holding him down, holding him back, or even holding him away from the Empress, I feel like ultimately he does it. Because I feel like the Nine of Cups is also talking about singular energy. And I kind of feel like this is you, the Page of Cups. It's like the remembrance of you. And then we have the Four of Wands. Well, that is the marriage card. But this is a lovely commitment card. This is one of my favorite love cards there are. Because this is about two people who want to commit their lives to each other. Their hearts to each other. And there's no one kicking and screaming here. Each wants to be here. You know, it is kind of like a twin flame. Like, I can't rush the others, you know, working on their vibration, bringing their vibration to where it needs to be. But that doesn't mean I should stop living my life. That doesn't mean I should stop living all that the universe wants to give me. Right? Because if I've done the work, right, I've understood, like, you know, the energy that I've had to sacrifice so that I could live the type of life I want. Even that you deserve. It only makes sense that you would want and expect the same from the person who ultimately you make a commitment to. Now, the Chariot really does put unlimited potential there. And it is interesting that we have the Nine of Cups because we saw the Ten of Cups. Excuse me. All right, well, let's keep going. We have the King of Swords. Can be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Funny, maybe there's another king in the picture for the Empress. Right? It's like there's the Emperor, but there's the king right below her. Maybe she has a choice. I know one thing she's saying. Because with the King of Swords showing, this is all about truth and honesty and integrity. And listen, the Empress is not going to live with less. If you call yourself the Empress, that means that you've learned that, your life has not been about mistakes. It's been about lessons. You know what I mean? And I've learned to call what I used to call my mistakes as lessons. They've taught me. They've taught me well. Sometimes those lessons are hard. And they can last, right? The Hangman can certainly be like a long pause in action. But the Chariot underneath it is movement now. For who? Well, this reading is about the Empress. And all that she deserves. Seven of Wands. Look at that, the Emperor again. We have a couple extra cards. We have the Eight of Wands with Justice and the Page of Swords. It's interesting because, I feel like maybe this Emperor is married or attached to another. And I feel like if, for any reason, you were given false promises of, I'm going to leave someone and I'm going to be with you. I feel like, first and foremost, if I've been waiting, I'm done waiting. I'm done waiting. Again, if you want to be with me, I feel like it's saying you need to be single. Or you need to free yourself. If that's truly what you want. Now I'm speaking as the Emperor. I'm speaking as the Empress speaking to the Emperor. It's interesting because we saw the Ace of Swords come over the Emperor in the first spread, and it could certainly speak about that. It could certainly say that this Emperor is coming in saying that. I have freed myself. I have cut ties potentially with someone else, but I also feel like I've cut ties to those illusionary energies that seem to drag me down. Okay, still not ready to go. So now what I want to do is I'm just going to go right over the Emperor and the Empress. We got the High Priestess, your intuition, which is what the Empress uses, her intuition. And that's all she needs. She doesn't need to create blocks, and she knows that now, right? It's like, you can't get past my energy. If you're telling lies or if you're not good for me, all my receptors will go off. My alarms will ring. The Empress, it's those red flags that are sent to us, but we ignore them a lot of times. Well, now they would be very, very clear. Queen of Cups. Excuse me. I feel like it's you. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Strength card again. Leo. But how interesting is the Strength card keeps coming around the Emperor. Does he ultimately, I guess let me just ask the question, does he ultimately clear any type of negative energy or any type of energy, if he's trying to be with Pisces, that, is he coming in the light? Is he good for Pisces? We have the Queen of Pentacles. Interesting though, she was reversed. Whoa, cards flying everywhere. Five of Wands. And I had a card fly off the table. Let me grab it. The Star. First of all, card of Aquarius. But this is about one's hopes and their dreams and their wishes. And it's about manifesting them. You know, I think I got to stop putting this emperor, like, I feel like this emperor, and in a period in his life, was probably maybe someone difficult to deal with. Now listen, if this is a narcissistic type energy, there's no way I would tell you to take it back, because I don't know if they change. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? But I know one thing: you don't deserve that type of energy. So that's first and foremost. But because this is about your dreams, and we have the energy of blessings and the truth from Mother Mary, I'm going to say that they did find balance. And I'm also going to say, if this emperor was attached to someone else, I do feel like they have left them. If they haven't, they are. Of course, if they haven't, I feel like you're not waiting. That's, I feel like, one of the main messages. Like, if you're not ready for me, then that's okay. Because I'm going to take that ace, right? That blessing that was supplied to me, for me. And I'm going to go ahead and just build my life. I'm going to go ahead and use my creativity, and, you know, what will be, will be. But, so I don't feel like there's any waiting. However, in the same breath, I feel like there's some type of communication coming in from, and I know this is not going to be for everyone, but this Queen of Pentacles coming in reverse now, I kind of feel like this is someone he may have cut ties with, especially because they have the 9 right there, because I do feel that singular energy. And then the Star card, right? My dreams and my wishes, but bringing them to fruition. I'm not sure why the 5 of Wands is next to that. So let's keep going. We have the 3 of Cups, but it came in reverse. We have the Knight of Wands, but it also came in reverse. You know, I have a feeling that this Emperor's got his opinions, or her opinions, no doubt. Maybe to the point of, you know, and again, I feel like younger energy, today's energy is different. And I feel like, you know, man, I do feel like the Emperor, I do feel like he was brought down to his knees. But maybe that's the only thing that would awaken this person. I feel like the Knight of Wands is coming in reverse, because I feel like my younger energy could have been very, almost too much. You know, my way or the highway type of thing. Like, could have had trauma attached to it. I do feel like they cleared that up. And I feel like that's why the Knight of Wands. Normally, Knight of Wands is, you know, a great energy of passion and desire coming towards you. But I'm getting this feeling what it's talking about really is someone mellowing, like their energy has mellowed. All right, well, we have the Unknown card. Thank you. But then we have the Magician, the Manifester. You know, I guess what I can say here is everything feels like it wants to work out. I don't feel like this is going to be a piece of cake. But I feel you are good. Like, your energy is where your energy needs to be. Now, unless you're the Emperor. You know, you could be either or here. But you would know which one you are. because I do feel like the Emperor does understand that there had to be some type of sacrifice to the way he was living his life. Now, the Empress may also have been living her life that way at one time, but I feel like she's evolved from that. And then it's like, okay, is the Empress also going to, or the Emperor also going to evolve? Well, I feel like every opportunity is shown. I do feel like, I kind of feel like, you may have given this Emperor the Tower, and that could just simply mean like, no more time. You have no more of my time. And that may be something that brought them to their knees. If they're attached to someone else, I do feel like they're freeing themselves. Well, we have the Emperor right here. Bottom line, let's put it this way. I feel like if this Emperor wants to be with you, trust your energy now. Like, trust your energy. Don't overthink it, right? Because we had the Nine of Swords. Like, don't overthink. Now, and again, if this Emperor is like an opportunity, someone that wants to work with you, however this person's coming into your life, or even coming back into your life, this is about you now and how far you've come. And allowing others to raise their vibration if they want to be with us. I do feel like he's able to do that. I'm not going to tell you like, hey, this is someone you should take back. But I do have a feeling that, I don't know, I feel like this person's been through a lot. Now, it doesn't mean that I should feel sorry for them, because I feel like a lot of what they've been through, they've caused themselves. But at the same time, I feel like their spiritual team is like allowing them to awaken to that fact. This could have been a relationship that has years in between it. Because again, for some, I feel like this Emperor may have attached to someone else. But now she's in reverse. All right. Anything else? Anything else? Anything I'm missing? Bring it out now, please. Anything else? Bring it out now, please. We have the Five of Cups. Interesting. I feel like there's two cards here, but there's not. All right. We have the Five of Cups. Well, first of all, 5 is about change. But this is good change. It's interesting because in the Five of Cups, and I'm really asking, like my main questions over this Emperor, I feel like life is changing for you and it's only getting better and better and better. I do feel like, you've got to be like, you like have the energy of like anyone around you, like come in truth, come in integrity. If you can't, then, maybe you're not meant to be part of this journey. But I feel like the Five of Cups, I feel like it's the Emperor. And I feel like he's thinking about you. Because what comes right after that? The Six of Wands. It's the energy of being victorious. It's the energy of being the leader again. It's interesting. It's almost like this person is coming back to who they truly are. And within the Five of Cups, again, 5 speaks of change. What does this person find when first of all, let's stop for a second. Think about the last reading. We had the Four of Cups. Again, directly connected to the Emperor. Inactivity in one's life. In the Four of Cups, they are being handed a cup. Like there is this cup coming in. But are they going to take it? You know what I mean? Like, because it may require some sacrifices, right? To be better. I need to be a better man. A better woman. If I want you. So this person is focusing on someone that they lost. But when they move into the energy of activity, of movement forward, they find the Two of Cups. So I feel like the Emperor and the Empress are definitely soulmates, if not twin flames, but definitely soulmates. And again, that doesn't promise us that something's going to work out, but it gives us the opportunity. Interesting, because I feel like the Emperor, you know, in a way I almost feel sorry for him because I know he's going through a lot. But yet, in the same breath, it's because of his own actions. And I keep saying him, can be a her, but someone's having that realization. You know, even when I go back and I think of the Three of Pentacles coming by the Emperor, you know, I feel like someone has that realization that you know, you are their missing piece of the puzzle, even though at the time I didn't see it, or, you know, I ended up being with someone else. Maybe I even married him. But, you know, through life and my maturity, I'm not going to say I made a mistake, but it's you who's living in my heart. So I do feel like this Emperor is the one who's going to reach out. Again, I feel like that Ace of Pentacles is yours. If you choose to share it, you share it. You know, ultimately, you do move into that Ten of Cups, so I have no, like, I'm not even worried about you moving forward. I feel because if your energy's in the light, you're just gonna see, because I feel like the Ace of Pentacles is over and over and over again, helping to supply the Empress in all that she needs. The Emperor just had to realize how special the Empress is. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it there. But I'm going to read, I feel like I got to start with truth, because I feel like it's so important here. Because I feel like without the truth, we have nothing. All right, you drew this card because some truth is being hidden. Most likely, you're the one hiding it from yourself. How do you really feel about your present situation? This card counsels you to take an honest inventory, admitting your most vulnerable feelings to yourself. If someone isn't being forthright with you, you'll know within your heart. The first person who comes to mind is probably involved in the dishonesty. Sometimes people aren't truthful because their fear of conflict makes them people please. Oftentimes, dishonesty stems from a lack mentality, arising when individuals believe that they have to take what they want because there's not enough to go around. Take the time to sit quietly in meditation and ask God and Holy Spirit to reveal the truth about your present situation. Although truth has a subjective component and opinions about the same situation will vary from person to person, there's a need for greater honesty in order to heal and resolve the present situation. Okay, let's read blessings, because these blessings are for you. Doesn't mean the Emperor can't share in them, but that will be up to you. All right, blessings. You received this card as a reminder of the power of gratitude. Perhaps you've been feeling sorry for yourself lately, or feeling as if God has forgotten about you. Mother Mary reminds you that your prayers are answered in many different ways and guides you to notice all the gifts and blessings you already have. Sometimes shifting your focus from what's wrong to what's right can make you notice new blessings that have previously been overlooked. If this card, this is a card of optimism, asking you to purposefully and consciously focus upon everything and everyone that you're grateful for. You can make a mental or written list daily, ideally, to train your mind to notice all the gifts you already have. By doing so, you're more likely to notice the new ones coming your way. This card also signals that new blessings are entering your life as an answered prayer. Amen, and we'll take them. And you know what? I feel like why not go ahead and read enthusiasm, because they're all tied together. All right. Your question about what to focus upon is answered by examining where your natural interests lie. What do you enjoy doing? What issues stir your soul? Where would you like to make a positive difference? These are your passions, and your enthusiasm gives them energy and motivation to take courageous action. Enthusiasm is positively contagious and helps others feel excited and happy. Mother Mary urges you to shine your light brightly. Let those around you know about your dreams, goals, hopes, and aspirations. Smile, share your feelings, and be authentic and accessible so that heaven and other people can join in your enthusiasm. Wow. You know, it all makes sense. And I feel like that's what the Ace of Pentacles is speaking about for the Empress. Truth is definitely representing that for the Emperor. And blessings can be for both. Can definitely be for both. Okay, I think I'm going to leave that there. And this is the type of reading where I can't wait to read your comments, because I feel like you're going to give me more clarity. You know, like when I do a reading, I don't expect to know everything that I'm reading. Sometimes I just tell you what I say. I don't even know why I'm saying it, but it makes sense to you. And I've learned to trust that. I've learned to trust my voice. But sometimes it's like I cannot wait for your comments to see how it relates to you. And some of you are going to let me know exactly, you know, who this Emperor is and what you think about him. Or her. All right, I'm going to let that be. I love you guys. I thank you. Much gratitude in every way that you support my channel. Couldn't do it without you. That's the truth. So my gratitude goes to you today. You today. I don't know why I pointed at the microphone. You. I love you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye-bye.